Now I'm going to introduce Tinker. Tinker is also a command line tool, but this gives you ability to execute a Laravel code in the terminal whenever you want to test something. And the most common usage of Tinker is to work with a database. I'm going to execute PHP artisan Tinker, and now I'm inside this shell, inside which I can execute Laravel commands. As an example, I can use str facade and execute random static function to output some random string, and this is it. Every time I execute this, I'm going to get a new random string, right? So the most common usage, as I mentioned, of Tinker is to work with the database. So I'm going to use a user model. By the way, this user model is located inside app models user. So this is the class, and Laravel and Tinker does not need to provide the namespace when using user specifically. Okay, user class doesn't need namespace when I'm using inside these Tinker. So I'm using user all. Let's hit the enter. Now this user is aliasing into app models user. So in general, we can use this app models user as well. And as we can see, this collection is empty collection, so we don't have any information about the users in the database. Now, let's create one user. For this, I'm going to create a user variable equals new user. All right. Now, on that user, I'm going to assign name to be Zura. Let's assign email to be zura@example.com, and let's assign password as well. However, the password needs to be encrypted. So there are two ways to basically encrypt passwords. One is to call hash class hash facade make function, or the simpler one will be to execute bcrypt and provide the rule password. So let's provide a password, really secure one from 1 to 8. Don't tell anyone. Okay, now on that user, I'm going to execute save, hit the enter, true. User was created in the database. Now let's clear out everything and let's try to get the users. Okay, so we don't see anything here. Let's do like this. Let's assign this into a variable users and let's print users. Now we see this. All right, so look at this. So now we have only one user in the database, which has the name Zura, email, whatever we provided, and the password is encrypted, as I mentioned. So if we want to select that specific user, we can execute user equals user, and then we can simply execute find, provide the ID of this user, and now we have this user. And on that user, I can do some updates as well. So I can change the name equals John, and then I can call user save. Okay, that was saved. Now, if I print that user, I can see it has name John. If I reselect that user again in the following way, I can see that it is also John. So the change when name was changed into John is reflected in the database as well, not only inside the variable of user. So if you want to select the user by a specific information like email and so on, then you need to use specific methods, where, as an example, inside the model, user, where, and we provide email is zura@example.com. All right, and then I'm going to execute first to select the first user with the following email. Now this is going to give me that user. Why I don't see this? Okay. Now we have this user which we selected with this where clause. Okay, that is the Tinker. Inside the Tinker, you can select the data, you can update the data, you can delete the data. And by the way, let me delete the user as well. I don't want users in the database, so now that was deleted. And if we try to select any user right now with user all, where is user all? Come on, users, that's right. Now this is empty.